Hello, hello, everybody. How we doing today? Hello, hello. Hopefully everybody's back from the ad break. I always do a 3-minute ad on my starting soon screen. So, yeah, we're cooking today. Woohoo! We're cooking. We're making. I don't know if I can call it Mexican because if there's any Mexicans in the chat, they might yell at me. So we're making cilantro lime chicken and tomato rice. That's what I'll call it. Hi, pop culture. How are you doing today? Oh my God. Yes, hello. Yeah. Don't know if it's authentic, but it tastes good. So that's what matters to me. How we doing? Let's do a tarot card, shall we? Monday. Okay. I'm gonna do the thing where I it always looks so cool when I do that. Okay, so let's see, which one should I choose? Ooh, this one. Okay, what's this? Ooh, wait, I haven't gotten this one. I say that every time. Like this, I have definitely never gotten this one before. Okay, authenticity of water. Authenticity of water. Look at that. It's like a sunset on the water. A sunset on the water. How's your energy today? It's doing good. Yep, it's doing good. I'm doing good today. We'll see how it goes over the course of the stream. Okay, authenticity of water. What pray tell is the meaning of that? I must know. But yeah, today we are, okay, here we go. Reflections in the glistening show endless possibilities. Possibilities are endless. I like that. And also you need to reflect. We must reflect in order to show endless possibilities. Reflect upon ourselves. Reflect upon how far we've come. Yes, so today we are potentially going to be looking at the Yoga Sutras by Patanjali, which, if you don't know, it seems like, oh, this is just an instruction manual for how to do yoga. It is, kind of. But also, it is a philosophy, a collection of philosophy writings from an ancient sage, Hindu sage. So yes, it's the Gordon Ramsay meme of finally some good fucking soup. Like, that's my opinion. I'm like, finally some good fucking soup. No offense. No offense to everyone who's a Nietzsche fan, but like a Wittgenstein fan. Ooh. It was interesting. You know, we had an interesting time reading Nietzsche. Thus Spake Zarathustra. I kind of lost momentum, not gonna lie, halfway through. I mean, the thing is that I disagree fundamentally with Nietzsche's idea of beyond man. That man needs to be something that, thank God Nietzsche's done. Oh, okay, good. Well, yeah, so everyone's glad. Okay, well, I gave him an honest attempt, okay? I gave him an honest try. We read, like, I want to say, like, almost 100 pages of that book. I'm probably exaggerating, but it feels like it was 100, okay? I will give philosophers an honest attempt. And by the way, for the Logico Tractatus for Wittgenstein, I read, like, almost the whole thing, okay? So we give them an honest attempt. Did it vibe with me? No, it didn't. Because, okay, the idea of beyond man that he has, of like, man and nature is something to be surpassed. It like goes back to that idea of like, man needs to conquer nature. We need to conquer our monkey self, monkey brain. I fundamentally don't agree with that. And so, but also, it's important to read philosophers that we don't agree with, okay? It's important to just look at everybody's ideas. What do they have to say? What from that book did I take away that was actually, that I enjoyed? I think I most enjoyed the introduction of the book, not going to lie, with the allegories of, you know, the rope walker falling down to his death, and saying, oh no, I'm going to hell now. And Zarathustra's like, no, you're not. And the man's like, oh no, that means I wasted my life. And Zarathustra's kind of telling him like, yeah, you kind of did, but but it doesn't matter. It's okay. Like, death is just a continuation. It's like, it's just another step in the process. So I appreciate that for what it is. What else did Nietzsche have that was interesting? His idea of like, he keeps having ideas of like, I don't know, like, he just wants to be so powerful with his ideas and controversial, and he has all these controversial ideas, and like with his idea of weakness being like having to do with jealousy of people who are higher class. It's about class, like economics. It's class and social standing. I don't know. He seems like a very bitter man, like a very, very bitter individual. And that's okay. Like, when I left my Christian faith, I was bitter. I was extremely bitter. But I think you gotta, like, I think there's a progression that happens. At least according to me. There's a progression that happens where you leave a Christian faith or a religion or whatever. And I'm not saying this is the right path, okay? This is not the right path. If you want to stay with your religion, that's fine. It's just like, I think, like, and I'm not saying a progression is like, we're growing towards the ideal. I'm not saying that. But for me, like, I noticed there was a progression of leaving the religion, having that Nietzsche iconic line of like, God is dead and we have killed him, and like just the despair and the, oh no, atheism, ah. And it's like, I don't know, I wasn't that impressed when I was an atheist. I wasn't that, honestly, nah, it wasn't for me. But if people stop at that and they're like, yep, that's for me, great, awesome. I think people go from that, leaving a religion, to atheism, and then if they need something more, like me, then they move on to the Eastern religions, and that's where we're landing today. Not saying that's the ultimate goal, but I am saying that the pathway is real, and many people go through it. So, aren't we all bitter like chicory? Do you mean like the actual taste of human? Have you tried human before? I will say I do bite the inside of my lip, so I do engage in some light cannibalism. Um, s- um, yeah, we all get bitter from time to time, so um, okay, shall we start? We're gonna start on the chicken because that needs to marinate for a minute. So I'm going to just cut 2 limes and put the limes in. Oh, I sharpened my knife. It's actually sharp this time. Holy shit. Okay, so I do have a lime squeezer, right? But I'm too lazy to use it, like clean it out and shit sometimes. So here, let me show you what I actually do when I squeeze limes, okay? Don't judge. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. I squeeze it like this, okay? And that's all well and good. But then we're revealing a secret here. We're revealing something that I probably shouldn't reveal because it's very embarrassing, okay? But it's what I do to get the lime juice out. Don't judge me. Okay, I bite it. I bite it. I'm being dead ass. That's what I do. I bite it. Nature's tool. Nature's tool. Teeth. Have you tried it? Yeah. That's what I do. Dead ass. That's what I do. Just roll the lime on the board with your hand before cutting it and squeezing it. Okay. That's also a good method, but I prefer my method of just like, it's a little bit unhinged, and that's why I love it. I fucking love unhinged methods. Now, there is some concern about, acid with stainless steel. Yeah, there is a genuine concern that acid can cause toxic chemicals to leach out from the stainless steel. Do we give a fuck? No, we do not give a fuck. I don't. I'm done. Like I went down the rabbit hole of like toxic chemical this and there's lead in there's lead in your cocoa powder, and there's arsenic in this, and there's da 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 da. You go down this, like, as Wackett was saying, this Joe Rogan rabbit hole of just like, everything's toxic, and that's no fun. So, do we really need to worry about toxic chemicals? I mean, like, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation, dude. The toxic chemicals, the arsenic, in moderation. Just enjoy it in moderation. No, I mean, like, as far as the cocoa powder goes, like, there is arsenic in the soil. That is nature. There is arsenic, there is lead naturally occurring, and then it's going to get into the plant, and then it's going to end up in your... So, I mean, I don't want to spread misinformation. That's what I don't want to do. So, um, so I will let you decide what you want to do and what you want to engage in. I mean, do people drink alcohol? Yeah. Is that objectively a toxic poison to people? Yes. But people enjoy it, you know, regardless of what it does to your body. It's all just like, I don't know. I do enjoy poisoning myself from time to time, not gonna lie. I do enjoy the poison. So it's really just, okay, we're gonna add 1 serrano pepper. Toxic is nature. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like some things where I'm like, okay, we're gonna listen. We're gonna listen to everybody and the freaking out about chemical this, chemical that. Like for example, the Great Salt Lake, which is what my city's name comes from, Salt Lake City, is drying up. So, you know, due to climate change. And it's revealing some arsenic and toxic chemicals at the bottom, which are naturally occurring, you know. And that's going to be a problem because that's going to be aerosolized over time and, you know, get into people's lungs and shit. I think that's something to be concerned about. I am a little bit concerned. It's sounding like the LDS Church is going to be donating like several, I don't know, millions of gallons of water to replenish it. That's what I'm hearing. Like, okay, we just have our corporations own the water. Great. The LDS Church is kind of like a corporation in a way with how much money they have. They do a lot of business. They actually own a lot of property in city. They got like a bunch of fancy malls and shit around the city. So, but anyway, enough about that. How is everyone doing today? How was everyone's weekend? Mine was pretty good, actually. Mine was pretty great. I'm gonna move this to the side. I can't move my hand. There we go. I can't move my hands. We're gonna move this over. I'm gonna end up getting that, like, what do they call it? The Hunan hand, where like the oils from the pepper like seep into your hand and get stuck there. Don't touch your nose once you touch the peppers, because it will burn. Or your eyes. I guess especially your eyes. Don't touch your eyes. Why do we have to judge how the weekend went? Is that a philosophical question? The reason why I asked how did your weekend go is because I was trying to change the subject and also engage my audience, because I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing as a streamer, is engaging my audience. And that's the easiest question I can think of before I move on to the less easy ones. So, how do we measure that? Someone said I had a successful weekend. How do we measure? How do we measure a successful weekend? It's subjective. That's subjective, my friend. Yeah. Oh, ew, look at this. Ew, gross. It's a little shriveled cilantro. So, I did cut the ends off of it, but there's still going to be some left over, so we're just going to cut them off. And I think what you're supposed to do is kind of like bundle it together like this, and then just like try not to chop off your fingers. And then I go through and I just like yoink. I just put those away out of my sight. Ew, there's another brown one. Ew, gross. So we're adding the cilantro, we add the lime, we're gonna add a bunch of seasonings, and then we're gonna chop up the chicken and put it inside. I think pop culture you bring them at an interesting point of how everybody thinks of things. And this is what I was reading about in the Society of the Spectacle by French guy. I'm not gonna even try. It's spelled Guy, okay? Guy Debord. That's how I fucking read it, okay? Sue me. Anyways, I loved his book, The Society of the Spectacle. It's talking about how everything in a late stage capitalist world is measured based on productivity and the spectacle. Well, mostly about the spectacle. Time becomes based on how productive you are, and then the weekend, like, oh, thank God it's Friday. Thank we decide to lump time into categories of productive and non-productive, and that's the only type of times there are. It's all about, like, am I making money now? Am I adding value to our capitalist system or not? There's no goofing off. There's no goofing off. There's no mixing of the two. There's no, like, goofing off and being productive. It's either one or the other. Okay, we're putting it in there. Yeah, I got a new emoji. It's my my heart emoji for the subscribers. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, actually. Okay, we're gonna rinse off my cutting board now, and then we're gonna bring over the chicken cutting board, because we're gonna cut the chicken. We'll use this cutting board again later. Yeah, I'm gonna get a different knife and my marble. Oh, that is not the right knife. That's a bread knife. Okay, we don't want a bread knife. Where's the? Do I really not have? God dang it! Oh wait, here. Got it. I got my knife. Okay, here's the marble. Putting that right there. Yeah, marble cutting boards are pretty, but also they do dull your knives very fast. They make your knives really dull really fast. Okay, so first we're going to continue to add the seasonings. I've got my other seasonings here. Oh yeah, I need 1/4 cup of olive oil. A lot of olive oil, actually. Yeah, that's a lot. It's not nearly as much as what's in the rice. The rice is, like, insane. Yeah, that's a 1/4 cup. Pop culture, how did your cooking stream go? What'd you make? What did you make today? Gonna pour the olive oil in. Oh shit, that was too much. We're just gonna, Yep, that's enough. And now I've got the oil all over my fingers, so I'm gonna do the little swisheroo. Gonna swish it around. Kimchi fried rice with melon salad. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds good. Hopefully it turned out okay. So I am going to be, oh shit, you know what? I forgot I was doubling the recipe. My bad. So this is a teaspoon of oregano. There's oregano in there. And actually it's not oregano. I lied to you guys. I'm sorry. How terrible of me. It's Italian seasoning. It called for oregano, but I don't have oregano, so we're gonna be improvising a little bit. And then a teaspoon of onion powder. So I think after we finish the chicken marinade, I'm gonna read one of the yoga sutras for you guys. So again, yoga is more than just, because you guys saw me doing the poses the other day. Yoga is more than just doing poses. It can be just doing poses. I mean, that's when it was first brought over to the West from India. That's kind of what everybody liked to do, is just like, yay, we do the cool poses, and we do the kundalini. You know, the kundalini is kundalini yoga is when you got the chakras, you know, the root chakra all the way up to it's the top one. I don't even know it, but it's like it's associated with like the mind, beyond the mind in a way. But it's like you've got these different meridians throughout your body, and you progress the energy. Does this sound new age yet? It is actually a genuinely serious and respectable practice, but the Westerners definitely took it and ran with it. It's like energy, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna use it to have better sex, and we're gonna do this and peak experience seeking. It's all about the experience seeking with Westerners, like with the hippies in particular. So it gets a bad rap in my opinion. Like I'm gonna get my quarter cup again that I forgot that I need not a quarter cup but a half cup, which is like way a lot of olive oil. Oh no, it's running out. I'm sure it's fine. It's not enough. It's not all the way, but it'll be fine for what we need. So anyways, so this is a very philosophical type of work that like talks about how to get in the right mindset to do yoga, and the purpose of doing it. What's the purpose? The purpose is something called samadhi, or concentration as it's sometimes known. And that's kind of, when you think of like a really meditative state of like, well, in this case, it's enlightenment, right? That's the goal, is basically enlightenment. So, but I mean, every level, even if you don't reach enlightenment, even like practicing some of these different techniques can be useful just for helping you in your everyday life, like just live a better existence, like a more I don't know, non-violent, peaceful type of, existence. Okay, we need some pepper and some salt. What's my definition of enlightenment? Good question. I guess I wouldn't know because I've never been enlightened. And I'm also very skeptical of people who've said that they have been enlightened. I think enlightenment would be, I feel like I've gotten a glimpse of what it could be, I think that so according to like a lot of the yoga, a lot of the Hindu monks that I listen to, enlightenment is something that is reached. It's a level of knowledge and like acceptance of your ultimate, purpose. And especially with non-dual, non-dual classical Hinduism, the knowledge is about there being one fundamental reality. And so I'm imagining a state that you achieve where you get to experience what it's like to be everything, everywhere, all at once. That's what I'm assuming is what it's like. Again, have I ever experienced that? No. But I think I've gotten a small glimpse of what it could be in my meditation practice. And even just like a small glimpse, damn, that's enough for me. Like I'm glad with what I've gotten so far, like seriously. Okay. It needs 1.5 teaspoons of salt, so I'm just gonna do 2 teaspoons. It technically needs 3 teaspoons of salt. I'm gonna do 2. I always do like a lot less salt than what it calls for, because I don't like a ton of salt. Because like the lime, all the acid already gives it like a salty type of flavor, so you don't need. And I might actually like taste it as I go. Just need some more. I need some more chili powder, and I need some more lime. I don't have enough lime, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar to it because it's like super sour. So we're not exactly following the recipe here, but I never do. So yeah, I never really follow. Oh, and I forgot the garlic. We'll just cut the lime on here, it'll be fine. Is it a feeling of complete peace and feeling fulfilled and one with everything? Yeah, that's a way I could describe it as well. Complete peace and feeling one with everything. Yep, that sounds about right. Pop culture, I add. Have you seen other Americans cook? Have you seen other Americans cook? Because I actually cook with a lot less salt. There's this channel on YouTube called Josh and Mama, and it's like these Southerners, people from the South in America, and they actually, I want to use brown sugar. I'm gonna use just a little bit. They, the mom makes these different recipes, these different concoctions. Oh my God, it is. Ooh, it's really gross. It's like depressed, like the Great Depression in America in 1940s. It's like that style of food where like a lot of it's processed. Making do with what you have. So she'll make these different concoctions like boxed mac and cheese with hot dogs in it. Or one of her concoctions she made was boxed mac and cheese with tuna out of a pouch. So tuna out of a pouch, and then peas, green peas. And it was so really disgusting. I like to rage watch it because I'm like, oh my, I cannot believe that people actually eat like this. But also at the same time, a lot of people do eat like this, and some people don't have a choice in what. Oh, that's sour. Oh my God, that's sour. I'm gonna add just a little bit more oil because I didn't have enough. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I guess I'm gonna have to break out the fancy oil because I ran out of oil. Oh no. Okay, that's it. It was a throwback to our salt use discussion. No, I remember. I know. You guys were all criticizing me about how much salt I use. I remember. Okay, so this should be ready now. So now we're gonna cut the chicken and put it in. And then our marinade will be finished. Excuse me. You guys, I'm so happy. You know why? Because I went to the Asian market and they had pomelo. They had pomelo here, look. There's the pieces of pomelo in there. They had pomelo. I was so delighted. Usually they only have pomelo at the store in the wintertime, but this market had pomelo right now in the summer. Which, yes, I'm very, very happy about that. Hi, Trix. How are you? Welcome. Let's go. Goblin mode. There's a great YouTube channel about food history. Foods from history, especially from times of... Yes, yep. So pop culture, that's kind of what the food reminds me of, is Great Depression style. You know what? Okay. I forgot to add my garlic. 1 second. I pulled out the chicken, but I need to add the garlic first. We're just gonna do all this. We're just gonna be fine. I'm gonna get back my vegetable cutting board, and we need to add like 16 cloves of garlic, basically. Just kidding. Maybe like 7. That's a good number. Hi, Onion Bro. Welcome. Hello. Hello. Welcome. We're talking about Great Depression style food. So you know the Jello salads, dude. I used to work at a library and I saw a book that was like a recipe book for all the different savory Jello salads you can make. Please tell me that I'm not echoing. Okay, good. Yeah, like water pie and like yeah. So there's a I was talking about how there's a YouTube channel now that actually does these kind of types of recipes. It's called Josh and Mama, and basically shows this woman from the South and how she cooks, and it's like everything comes out of a can and like is like, you know, the ultra processed, like I don't know. Like the Thanksgiving dinner was like it was like canned ham with like the canned pineapple slices on top and like the it's a lot. But I mean, you got to admire people's ability to make do with what they have. You know, like when you don't have a lot of options and a lot of money, because these days apparently the fake food is less expensive than the real food, at least in America. That's how it is in America. Um, so you know, I've been thinking about going full hippie, you guys, because like I like kombucha, which yes, I know that makes me a hippie, doesn't it? But I've been thinking about going full hippie, which is making my own kombucha. Because Jesus Christ, dude, one bottle of kombucha is $10. Are you kidding me? $10 for fermented tea? Hello? Like that's ridiculous. I don't want to pay that much. Being an alchemist is being a good chef. Yeah, like just figuring out different combinations, what works. Yeah, she is kind of like that. She just like makes do with the most random ingredients you can find. So, good for her. What the hell was this? Why does my garlic have these spots? How dare you? Get off. I'm cutting that off. No, thank you. No spots today. Yeah, so I just crushed the garlic and then I removed the skin that way. And yes, you are going to get if you want to use gloves, you can, like, to avoid the garlics. Because otherwise you're going to get garlic and it's going to smell on your fingernails for, like, probably a week at least. Because it's got some sort of enzyme in it that just kind of just eats away at your fingernail, I believe. Ultra-processed food is particularly more prevalent in low-income communities because, yes, first of all, it's easy to access, and secondly, it's much more affordable, and thirdly, because of time. Yes, you are very accurate in that observation. And that's why I'm trying not to be... Is it appalling when I look at it? Yes. Some of her concoctions that she makes, yes. But also, like, I do admire her for her ingenuity, and also trying to, like, do her best to cook for her family and, like, you know, make it a more gourmet experience when you don't have a lot of tools available to you. Because, like, yeah, a lot of places in America are what's known as food deserts, which people don't have access to fresh food, like fresh fruits and vegetables. Mostly just have access to, like, I don't know, like a corner store or like sometimes even just a gas station, or like like a dollar store, which has food too, but most of it's just processed. So yeah, I think that it's hard. It's a really difficult issue to to deal with. I don't want to shame anybody for eating processed food because some people have no choice. Some people genuinely have no choice. I just wish it was different. I wish it was different because whole food is so much better for you. But yeah, not everybody. And then the reason why I'm streaming now is because, like, I'm hitting two birds with one stone. Like, I'm hanging out with people, and talking to them and having a good time, while I'm spending 3 hours making not everybody has 3 hours to make food. Like, that's how long it takes most times. Granted, I am kind of yapping and doing it, but most of the times I make dinner or make food, it will be a 2-hour ordeal, and then like doing the dishes afterwards. So yeah, like a lot of working class people do not have time to do all that. So like my husband works at a law firm, and most of the people at the law firm have like maids and cooks and all these things because genuinely they don't have time to they don't have time to do all that. So everyone could so I don't get that. In the rural areas it's easy to have a house or a garden. Pop culture, it takes a lot of effort to grow things in a garden. A lot of care and and also it depends on the climate as well. If you don't have the climate ideal for growing stuff, then you're kind of screwed. But so I just put the garlic in my, so now it's gonna taste way better because it's got the garlic in there. Okay, I'm moving this over to the side. I'm gonna actually come back to it in a second because I'm also gonna add garlic to my rice. But we're doing one thing at a time. One thing at a time. And also another thing is not a lot of people have the knowledge, Not a lot of people have the knowledge of like what food goes well with what. Cooking is not always a skill that's taught to people. I was lucky that my mom taught me how to cook. But not everybody gets that. Okay, so now so I'll show you how I make my chicken. So I like to, okay, this is thin enough, but I need to have thin pieces. So what I do is I cut it like this. I cut it in half. Because if it's too thick, then it won't cook all the way. And I like my chicken to be cooked all the way. Don't know about you guys, but I prefer to have my chicken cooked all the way. Well, having time is a mode point. Having time or spending time because it's worth your time. I can get some at some extent, but I think that some people genuinely do not have time, especially people who have kids and have to, pick them up from daycare and like get them ready for. I mean, we don't have to talk about this because I know it's kind of a triggering topic for some people, but I don't know. I'm sticking in the boat of like, yeah, some people don't have time, and that's unfortunate. But yeah, law firm working hours, you do not have time. You're working like 60 hours per week, typically. So the lawyers do not have time to, let's see, do I want to cut that in half? No, yeah, cut in half. There we go. Cut it in half. And so I say I don't have time for that often. It usually only means the time is not worthwhile for me. I see your perspective. I do that a lot too. Sometimes if you have time for stuff, you need to, like, for example, in the past, I used to spend a lot of time on social media. And then I would often say, I don't have time for this. But when I deleted all my social media, so my Instagram and my Facebook, I discovered, oh my God, I've got so much time to do stuff. Social media is definitely a time sucker, for sure. So, but I think people need to understand like how dopamine pathways work, because you might have the time, but you might not have the motivation. And a lot of that has to do with dopamine and reward and like, okay, am I even motivated to do this task? Because like a lot of people are burned out from their job, right? So when they say they don't have time, sometimes what they really mean is they don't have the motivation. They don't have the energy or the motivation. So I was watching a bunch of videos about social media and how it kind of destroys um, your motivation pathways, um, like your reward pathways in your brain. And so when your dopamine is depleted in those ways, or kind of abused in those ways, then normal tasks that would normally produce dopamine, so like cooking, cleaning, doing all that, that would normally make you feel satisfied and like, yes, I accomplished that task, so now I'm motivated to do it again. They're not as rewarding to you because you're already receiving an astronomical amount of dopamine from your phone. So if you wait, so Onion Bro said, if you wake up at Toby's wanting some of this. Hey, it's not for you. No, you can't. You cannot have that. I'm so sorry. You can't. You have to leave. You have to leave. I'm so sorry. If you wake up at like 9 a.m. and then don't use computers or social media for the whole day, you're like, okay, what the fuck? Now what? Yeah. If you don't use social media, then you will find that you've got a lot of time and a lot of motivation. A lot of people use social media though. And so that does create the illusion of, I don't have time for anything. Yeah, the instant gratification. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tenderize this. So I just take my pepper that's really hard and I just like, I smash. This part is pretty gratifying, not going to lie. Damn, I love that microphone. It really does cancel out all the noise, doesn't it? We love that. Okay. Yeah, that's a big problem, especially with the younger generations. Yes, it's a huge problem. I post something I did something worthwhile, a reward. Well, and pop culture, sometimes it's not even the likes. Sometimes it's the simple act of scrolling that gives you the dopamine. And that's a huge problem. The endless scrolling and the TikTok videos, everybody talks about the brain rot and whatever. That was a huge problem for me. Okay, so we got our marinade here, and we're gonna put the chicken inside. So I'm just gonna, and of course Toby would like some, but she cannot have any. And this only needs to, no. You may not. You may not. This only needs to marinate for as long as everything else needs to cook. So we're gonna throw it all in here. And then I'm gonna remove my cutting board and I'm gonna wash my hands really quick because I'm super paranoid about chicken. Okay, you know what? That's gonna go right there. Hey. Oh my God, Toby, no. You did not. Did you guys see that? Shit. Toby, stop. Stop. I took some of the water from my hand. I'm a bad cat mom. I took some of the water from my hand and splashed it on her. I'm sorry. I had to do what I had to do. Toby, you made She does that every single time I get chicken out, but chicken is so bad. Like, cats can get salmonella too. I'm so sorry, you may not. Matthew's what? Ruin the Gen Alphans. Sign the petition, fellas. Okay, I'll sign your petition, Onion Bro. I'll sign your petition. I'm just making I'm making sure this is all coded in the Paw Patrol started nonsense quickly. Do you think it was what? I haven't heard of this. Do you think it was Paw Patrol? I haven't heard much about or seen it. Stop. Will you stop, please? Are you gonna need to go in your room? Am I gonna need to lock you away? Like a terrible, terrible mom that I am? Okay. We're gonna put the cover on this and just put it in the fridge. Oh, that just barely fits. We love that. Actually, no, just joking. Oh, okay. Um, Paw Patrol ruined everything. Controversial opinion, but Vine started all of this. I mean, bro, that is a controversial opinion, but I do agree. But Vine was phenomenal. And like, I think when Vine first started out, it wasn't that bad. It was a what makes Vine different from TikTok now? Like, why do I perceive Vine as being better? I wonder if it's because of the sheer amount of TikToks there are now. With Vine, there was few enough that there were some ultra viral ones that everybody was talking about because it was in 2016 when I was in college, like freshman year, and so it was the perfect time, dude, the perfect time for Vine, when I'd show up to class and everybody would be talking about the latest Vine, and it just felt like a moment, like a shared cultural meme of some kind, you know? Okay, we're gonna put this in the fridge. But with TikTok now, it doesn't really even feel like that. Like, nobody really even acknowledges like sometimes there's viral moments, sure, but not really to the same extent of like everybody knows what's going on, in my opinion at least. Okay, and now we're going to cut the rest of the vegetables. Some people don't believe, hi Refly, some people don't believe this, but did you know 33% of men represent 1/3 of men? I didn't know that, Refly. Thank you for sharing that very helpful statistic. 33.3%. You need the line above the 3. I forget what that's called, but in math, you know, the line. Pop culture, because in Vine, people tried to be creative. Are we biased? Are we biased here? Onion Bro said, we need to shorten the short form content to counteract short form content. You know, you guys, there's actually these what are they called? They're not called mini dramas, but China's coming out with this new thing, where it's like a dramatic TV show, but in short form. So like, I don't know, 30-second videos. So like the whole drama is played out in 30-second clips. So long story short, we're cooked. we're cooked. Like, what? So they're making a drama that's not even just dramatic. It's like it's specifically formulated to be attention grabbing in that short form format. So people will watch. You guys ever watch those YouTube shorts of like they've got the whole movie, or they got like clips of a whole movie almost in the shorts? Have you ever watched a movie just from shorts? I feel like I've watched Family Guy just from shorts. You know. Has anyone noticed songs getting shorter too? Ooh. I think so. I mean, just like pop songs, not like other genres of songs. I haven't noticed, but I'm just gonna rinse this off really quick. So now we're just cutting all the vegetables to make the rice. So I got my bowl here that we'll just put all the vegetables in. So a cliffhanger every 30 seconds. Yes, pop culture, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing is a cliffhanger every 30 seconds. So I was watching like this little documentary about it. And of course, it was a documentary in YouTube Shorts. Okay. Hey, do not. Toby just stole this little piece of chicken from the... Do not do that. Oh my God. I look away for 2 seconds and you just steal my meat. You better not. You better not. That's gonna make you sick. Don't eat that. Oh my gosh. Shit that I have to deal with. Okay, Trix, don't worry, I'm gonna read your comment. You said, I think there's a limit on how much we can shorten pieces of media without losing its meaning. Can't get worse than it's now, really. Yeah, there is a lot of meaning that's lost, for sure. Onion Bro, I want the Watch Mojo era back. Yes. In 2230, the attention span of the average human will be 3 seconds. Hopefully, so what I'm hoping will happen is like some sort of a resistance to that, because that is just sad. Like, I know a lot of people are choosing not to have social media and choosing not to engage in that type of, content consumption. I personally stopped because I was like, enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. So I'm hoping that maybe there'll be some sort of movement, like anti-shorts movement. In the 60s, the average pop song was about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Oh, that's good context. Thank you, pop culture. We aristocrats will be 10-second chads. My fellow pop men, which one of our brothers did she use to contain her cilantro lime? Oh yes, one of the brethren, pop brethren. Everything is getting shorter, and here I am, a man still being judged by society about the time I can endure in the bedroom. Oof. No comment. Yeah, that's oof. Good one. Time is precious. Time is important. So we're just cutting this in like tiny little pieces because it's gonna go in the rice. So I like making these little carrot sticks. I'm getting chills and goosebumps. It was a bad joke. Pop culture's like, please, let me make sure that everybody knows it was a joke. It's okay, I get it. I know you were joking. I like making you feel uncomfortable though about like, does she know it was a joke? I'm making you live with the consequences of what you're saying. It's up to you to provide context. It's not up to me. I also love it. I love it when people scramble and they're like, wait, it was a joke. I promise. Does that make me a terrible person? I think it does. I think that makes me a terrible person. The resistance will protest by watching 4 hours long director's cuts of movies. I guess there is that happening. Although I don't, 4-hour movies are an ordeal. That's a true ordeal. I think at the 2.5 mark, I start tapping out. I'm like, unless it's Lord of the Rings. If it's Lord of the Rings, I'd be watching the 5-hour extended edition every time. I refuse to watch anything less. Because that is a fucking movie, my guy. That is a fucking delicious, delightful saga. that I watch at least once a year. Not gonna lie, it's my tradition. Every Christmas time we watch Lord of the Rings. The whole thing. Extended edition. And do you guys ever do this? My dad is the one that's always like, he makes the exact same comments every single time we watch it. Where he's like, did you know, because you know that scene where Aragorn kicks the orc helmet or whatever, and my dad's always, did you know that he actually broke his toe when he did that? And like, we're like, yes, Dad, you told us that last time. Like, or like, oh, what's another one? Oh, the shot in the beginning of the second movie, that cinematic shot of the mountains. It's so gorgeous. And you're hearing the fight between Gandalf and shit, I'm not a real fan. The Balrog. I am a real fan. Listen, I am a real fan. Gandalf and the Balrog. And my dad's always like, this is the most beautiful scene in cinema. It's like he says it every freaking time. You just know it. Like, I'm just letting him have his moment. The moment when Legolas jumps on the horse. Oh, the moment when Legolas jumps on the horse, the king of horses or whatever. He runs up to it and he like holds his arm like this and he like when he like turns on the horse, it's so fucking cool. Oh my god, it's so badass. I'm just nerding out right now. I fucking love Lord of the Rings. Anyway, I'll read your comments now. I had to yap about it for a minute. With every of the four. Oh, you know what? I don't watch the commentary. Oh, sorry. I don't watch the commentary, but I do. Refly, my Christmas movies are Die Hard 1 and 2. Oh, I haven't seen those actually. Should I? I should probably watch. Pop culture. I hate the extended. What? You hate the extended? Why do you? What? Why? It's so good though. Why not more? More is better. More of Lord of the Rings is better. Is always better. Okay, that's your opinion, I guess. That's fine. But I disagree. The sheer male urge to give random facts about the random Lord of the Rings scenes. So true, Onion Bros. So fucking true. Meanwhile, all the women are like looking at Aragorn in that scene where he goes in, oh, what's it called? Forget the kingdom on the mountain with the king who's poisoned by the Severus Snape looking dude, like disgusting looking dude. Where Aragorn opens the doors and he's like, and he walks through and he's just like he comes in with this swagger and like all the women are just like, Aragorn. Oh my god, I love Aragorn. Yeah, I do. Actually, I'm more of a Legolas enjoyer. I'm more of a Legolas enjoyer than Aragorn. Because I love me the masculine men aren't really my thing. I love more feminine looking men. Not going to lie. You could have gone that though. Be nice to yourself. Did you guys hear the meme? Hi, Ulfric Stormcloak. Welcome. We're talking about Lord of the Rings. Thank you. I should be nice to myself. We should all be nice to ourselves. Did you guys hear the audio from that? Because I curated that audio for myself. It's from that clip of the guy in New York that's like in a it's not a Speedo, it's like a I don't know, but he's holding the sign. He's like accept yourself, love yourself. I just love it. I love that video. It's my favorite video. I think that was a Vine too. That was a Vine, wasn't it? That's why I know it. True son of Skyrim. Yes. Skyrim yes. Who does Skyrim belong to? The Nords. Good answer, Refly. Chicken cheese. I guess that's one way to describe him, sure. Listen, the message is correct. The message is true. You need to accept yourself and love yourself. So what did I do? I edited the video I took out the background noise of the New York City sirens going in the background, and I put a lo-fi guitar in the background, just like all my alerts. So it could just be perfect. Oops. You should come to cook at Windhelm. I would love that. I'll cook for everyone. I would love to do that. I'll be the cook. What do you want me to cook? What should I what Skyrim recipe should I cook? Cuz Ulfric, I actually I made sweet rolls at one point. I made the sweet rolls from Skyrim, which was really fun. I got the special pan for them. I made them. They were delectable and tasty. But I need to try out a new recipe. Okay. Sweet rolls for dessert. Yep. Just serve cheese wheels. I guess that's pretty easy to make. I don't know if there's any other like iconic food besides the cheese wheels and the sweet rolls. Besides that, I have Argonians. Can you do something with them? Ah, I think I could. My cooking skill is relatively. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Oh, we'll cook. Oh, wait, we're being cannibals. Are we gonna be cannibals? Are you talking about an actual race of people? Oh, sure. Skyrim cabbage is quite popular. Me not knowing the reference. Wait, I'm looking up who the Argonians are. You just caught me. You just caught me. Oh my god, the lizard people? Oh, we got some racism in the chat. Oh dear. Oh dear. Controversial, and I supported it too. I really did. I bought right into it, didn't I? Argonians are not people. Never trust Khajiits. Khajiit tried to steal food earlier. Oh, yes, she did. She definitely did. She tried to steal some of my chicken. Oh, brother. We accept every race and type of being. All beings are welcome here. Even the lizard people. Even the cat people. Everyone. We do not cook them. Although I did join the cannibal vampire cult in my actual playthrough, so I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just talking out of my ass. I'm just talking out of my ass. Crime rate. Oh dear, now we're talking about politics. Comor are not welcome here. What have I started? Oh. You guys are hilarious. People eat a lot of cabbage in Windhelm. That's why it's called Windhelm. That's true. The cabbage makes you break wind. That's why it's called Windhelm, because everybody be breaking wind. I don't know if Ulfric appreciates that. Talking out of one's ass is a form of Dracula shouting. Yo. What would the shout be called? You know, I always thought the you know that Markiplier and who did he do that with? You know, the Unus Annus, that YouTube channel that only lasted for 1 year. 1 year. I always thought anus meant anus instead of year, because unfortunately I don't know Latin. Ulfric, I am cooking cilantro chicken and rice. We're currently making stuff to put in the rice. We're gonna be adding some it's gonna be tomato, like kind of like Mexican rice. If you can get from a Mexican restaurant. So these are some serrano peppers and carrots, and then we're gonna cook an onion. We're gonna chop an onion, and then we'll put it all together and make it. And then I think when we're making the rice, that's when we'll read the yoga sutras during the downtime. I just got to get all this stuff in prepared, nice and prepared. I think that's what I would be though in Skyrim, is I would be a cook of some kind. I like the idea of being a cook. I'm not a very good one, but I get by. Make Skyrim great. Oh my god. Bro. Bro. She's using imperial ingredients. Detain her at once. Ah! I know. I am somewhat of an imperialist myself. We do have some imperialists in the chat. AD stands for Anno Domini. Oh, thank you. Thank you for... Yes. What does that mean? Oh, AD. I thought it stood for after death. Yo, I'm stupid, you guys. My intelligence level 0. Wisdom... No, that's not wisdom, that's intelligence. I need to go to the... How do you improve your intelligence level in Skyrim? I haven't learned that yet. I've mostly gotten by with my barbarian build, just smashing everything. Smash first, ask questions later. After death. That's what I thought, Refly! I seriously did! Before Christ and after death. That's what all the Christians talk about. That's what my parents taught me. That's what my parents taught me is what it was. Oh dear. Oh, and then there was all this controversy about like BCE and ACE, like before Common Era and after Common Era, so there was no Christ. Christ was removed from the equation because we must be atheists. Atheism, cool. Okay, you know what? That's good enough. Okay, we're gonna put this to the side. And now we're gonna cut the onion. Take all my serrano out of the way. Oh no, I'm transforming. Oh, meme break. Meme break. Yes, let's do a meme break, shall we? Okay, what memes do I have? What memes do I have? I need to create a display capture. Thank you. Sorry, my speaker's not active, so I need to remember. Okay. And of course, we always steal our memes from... Okay. This is for all you meta philosophy haters. This is for all your meta philosophy haters. It's hard because I only have one screen, so please bear with me. Okay, bear with me. Bear with me. We're gonna do one meme. Usually I would have a lot of memes prepared, but... Okay, let me know if you can see it, alright? Okay, can you see that? I can't see it because I only have one screen. Metaphysics? Meta-philosophy? Meta-ethics? Have you ever met a meta-girl? This is for everybody who hates all that. Meta this, meta that, meta this, meta that. All right, we're switching back because I cannot see. Can't see anything. Fuck. Okay. Ah! I needed to turn off meme break because I can't do it on this display. Okay. Maybe now? Okay, let me know if you can see it now. Can you see it now? Oops. Maybe now? I'll just send it in the chat. I'm so sorry, Ulfric. I fucking forgot to turn it off. Because I can't do it on this setup. I can't do it. I only have one screen. Hi, Galti. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm so sorry. I forgot to turn it off. Nobody else used meme break because I forgot. I forgot. Where does forgore come from? Does anybody remember? Or no? I just say that like I forgore. So there's the meme of the day from r/philosophy where I get all my memes. r/philosophy memes. I get some from other sources. Why is this not coming off? Don't you guys hate it when the onion doesn't peel off in one piece? It just peels off in these, like, it breaks off. How dare you? You better come off. You better come off. Okay, well, I did my best. I did my best by sharing. Okay, we're gonna cut the onion. We're gonna do it the way I usually do it, which is like this. This is how I cut onions. Because I like them to be really small pieces. Okay. And now what we do is we just, yeah. You see that? It's so fast. I mean, it's so fucking true. If you don't hate other philosophers, you ain't a philosopher. True, because that means you care. You care enough. You care enough to, like, look into their philosophy. I would say hate is a very, it has to do with care and love. Because in order to hate somebody, you actually have to, because, like, if you really didn't care about somebody, you would just not even experience any emotion towards them. But if you hate them, that means you probably gave them the time of day to learn about them. Okay, so we've got all of our vegetables chopped. So let's move over to our pan, shall we? Let's move over to our food. Ah, shit. Sorry, you probably heard that. I knocked over my giant fucking water bottle, but every time one of these things drops, it's like a gunshot goes off, not gonna lie. Yep, I just knocked over something else. Okay. So you meet a girl? I guess you had pot luck. Good one. That's a good one. Okay. There. We put some olive oil. I need to, oh, actually, no, it's avocado oil that I need. Let me look at my recipe. And then I promise as soon as we're done making this, I'll read the actual philosophy that I had prepared for you guys today. I just have to get this done before I forget. I mean, not before I forget, but before things get way out of hand. Okay. There's two types of hate. The I fucking hate you type and the I wish you were better dog type. Like, I hate how you're acting and I hate you as a person. Those are two different things. Yeah. I prefer the I hate how you're acting right now over I hate you as a person. Okay, so this requires a ton of oil, which I'm not going to use all of it because it's just simply too much. We're going to add... That is not clean. Where's my... when you only have one measuring cup, then it kind of makes things challenging. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna use this. So it says to use half a cup. I've got a cup here. I'm going to do like not half, a little bit less than half. There, that's less. One is a negative point of view, the other one is a positive. Constructive, yeah, it's like constructive versus destructive. I think it's important to be constructive most times. That's the most helpful. Both are judgmental. Yeah. So we got our onions. We're just gonna cook it like that, and then we get my rice that I'm gonna wash because I didn't wash it yet. 3 cups of rice. Okay. And of course I use my 1 measuring cup for my oil. God damn it. God damn it. I really did that, didn't I? So hopefully the alerts and everything are working. I can't hear them because I don't have my speakers on, but I'm sure it's fine. Okay. What's the brand of the cooking top? I need it for the Marissa lore on the wiki and the fan fiction. Refly, you flatter me. You're funny. Great question. I don't know. I think we looked for it last time. I went underneath and looked. I can't. No, sorry. I have no idea. I don't. Wait. Chopped saran. Okay, I'll type it in the chat. There. That's the brand. Oh boy. That's the brand, I think. Chopped. Michael Chopped. Not sponsored. No, we're not sponsored. So far from being sponsored. You know, I actually could take sponsorship. Not to brag or anything. Not to brag. But I could be taking sponsorships if I wanted to. But no, there's like a thing where you can go on like Twitch affiliate. As soon as you become an affiliate, you can do different sponsorship opportunities by like, you know, these shitty mobile games. I don't think I'll be doing any of that. I think I'll only take a sponsorship if it ends up being something I actually genuinely care about. Otherwise, I will feel like a puppet. Like the Truman Show. I'll feel like I'm in the Truman Show. We don't want that. So, I'm just washing my rice. I like to just do it with my hand. Yeah, sell yourself out for 5 cents a month. Yeah, well, to be fair, pop culture, I did switch to affiliate, so the ads, I did kind of sell myself out a little bit, for like 0 cents a month. It's literally 0 cents a month. Oof. But I just wanted the channel points and the everything so bad. So, yeah. That's what I did. I did do that. Purely for selfish reasons. I wanted the emojis. So, as you can see, I've got the new heart emoji. We got the new heart emoji. We're working on another emoji that's going to be like it's going to look really groovy. We're just fully leaning into the, you know, the hippie aesthetic. You know, mushroom lady. I am the mushroom lady. That's me. All my friends always send me pictures of mushrooms. They're like, you would love this. I'm like, yes, I do. I do love that. It is a mushroom, so I love it. If it's mushroom related, I will be delighted to see it. Okay, shit. I don't have my... Okay, you know what? I'll just use this. I'm actually going to turn up the temperature on this. It's not hot enough. As I said before, the cooktop takes literally forever. Literally forever to turn on. Could be sponsored by NordVPN if you're doing a Nord playthrough in Skyrim. True. I don't know if I've ever used a VPN before. I tried to use one when I was in China, and that didn't work. Which is making me very nervous for when I actually do go to China. I'm still delaying it. I'm still putting it off. Because I don't know. I'm regretting going on that trip. I'm like, oh shit, why did we schedule that for 3 weeks? It was kind of booked not by me, by somebody else. So, having some regrets, but oh well. You have other reasons if I believe your statement. Okay. I don't know what you're referring to, but I'm sure, yes, I do have other reasons. So I'm just gonna cook the onions for like a minute or so, and then I'm gonna add the rice, and then I need to... Oh yeah, it's got garlic too. I'm gonna add some garlic. Did I put the garlic in the fridge? No, I've got it right here. Listen, we're not judging anybody who sells themselves out, but 3 weeks in a foreign country, no matter what country, is always a great thing. I don't understand you. I know, we're opposites. We're opposites, pop culture, in most things. It's just kind of overwhelming when I think about it. And also, I don't want to be away from, like, if it ends up failing, like not working out or something, then it's like, oh God, I'm gonna, like, streaming, I'm not gonna be able to do, so because I've heard from people, like, you lose your audience within a matter of weeks of being gone. You just lose everyone. So I'll lose everything I worked hard to build. Worked hard, sure. We'll say that. Okay, I'm gonna add this now. So you want to like fry the rice so it gets almost brown. I mean, this is brown rice, but you want to brown the rice. It's so fragrant. So fragrant and delicious. And then later on, I'll add the carrots and the peppers. But for now, we're just gonna fry it. I would work for 3 months on a North Korean labor farm if the trip would be paid. Oh, okay. So you love traveling that much, huh? Yeah, traveling can be fun. And I especially like living abroad too. Living abroad is really fun. Just a change of perspective. Have any of you guys ever lived in a different country before? I mean, you just completely, you start thinking about how everything you do in your country is different and why it's different, and like I found that I've adopted some habits from all the countries, like from Brazil and from China. Like the habit I adopted from China was that I don't drink cold water anymore. I only drink hot water. The habit I picked up from Brazil is Well, mostly the food. I just cook Brazilian food now, which I love. If you're a major streamer with 30,000 viewers, you would lose a great percentage of if you do stream for 3 weeks. A small channel with a core audience won't lose much with a 3 weeks. Ah. Okay, well, either way, I don't plan on taking that. I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna find a way to make it work out. Yep, that doesn't really work, does it? I'm gonna find a way to make it work out. There. I'm just procrastinating it, not gonna lie. Okay, I think I'm gonna add. Yes, we won the IRL stream from the Mahjong. So, you guys, I'm really upset. You know why? Because we're not going to Yinchuan anymore. It's been decided for me. I don't really have a say in where we go, because it's my mother-in-law who's paying for it. I really wanted to go to Yinchuan because that's the place where you can see the everyday life in China. But they didn't want to go because they were like, that's boring. I'm like, I want to go. That's the most important. When I go abroad, I don't like seeing the tourist places. I don't think that's that interesting. I prefer seeing the, like, how do people live? How do people live every day? That's what I'm more interested in. I'll still try and find a way to get in a mahjong parlor, but things don't always work out the way that you want them to, you know? It's not up to me. I'm not the one paying for the trip, so I don't really get to decide. I'm just along for the ride. Okay, I'm adding garlic now. I shouldn't have been talking about it, bragging about it so much since I don't actually have control over it. But that's what I do. I get so hyped about the things I'm gonna do that I brag about it before they're set in stone. You know, I'm the type of person that will watch a movie synopsis if I need to know if I just have to know what happens. I'll spoil it for myself. Sometimes I just get overcome by like needing to know something. Impatient, that's what it is. Needing to know what's gonna happen right away. Okay, this smells amazing. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, I'm turning the heat off for a second so it doesn't burn. Now we're gonna add all the seasonings and the liquid, and then we'll bring it to a boil. And then we'll talk about the philosophy, finally. Okay. So, let's see, I need... Okay, 1/2 cup of tomato sauce. I've got my tomato sauce here. Would you guys consider yourselves patient people? I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not a patient person. And also, I'm somebody who needs to know the plan. I always gotta know the plan right away. Like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Because I need time to mentally prepare for what's gonna happen. Part of that has to do, I think, with my sort of autistic tendencies. With just like needing to be in control of the situation. Okay, so this needs, okay, I'm gonna add 4 teaspoons. 1, 2 of tomato bouillon, 3. I'm adding heaping teaspoons because I'm not actually going to add any salt to this. Okay, and then what else? Okay, no, I'm not adding any extra salt, so you guys can you'll be all right. See, I do add less salt than most people. And then I need 6 cups of water. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually, I usually do almost 1 cup less than what it asks for because it's autistic tendencies. Refly, this is why I was thinking about getting a diagnosis, because I don't want people to think that I'm just like using that as a badge of honor. I did actually take the test. The RADS-R test for autism and scored high. I guess I would be using it. If I did get a diagnosis, I would be using it as a badge of honor, though. I'd be like, yes, I do have it. And you should all understand. I always go back and forth. I'm like, I do want to understand myself more, but I also don't want to, like, use something as a badge of honor. It's a weird thing. Okay, so now we put the lid on. And we wait for it to boil. Let's put the heat back on. 5. I can't be patient if I want to achieve a goal. Oh, yes, that's hard. Oh, it depends. I can be patient if I have to wait for 10 minutes on a supermarket cashier line. But if you want to achieve a goal, then you're not patient. Yeah, I think okay, I agree. I'm more patient than other people when it comes to certain things. So, like, in traffic, people get really upset if, like, somebody cuts you off, or, like, you got people weaving in and out, or, like, you got to stop and go. I actually don't get bothered by it. Or if, like, a motorcycle is really loud, I don't get bothered by that. When I know a lot of people, it really bothers them. So, some things, I guess I'm more patient than other people. Oh, I see, Refly. That's my punk band. Autistic tendencies. Yo. Ooh. Okay, shall we read some philosophy? Okay. So I have here the Yoga Sutras, which I explained earlier, but I'll explain it again. It's a philosophy book about how to do yoga. It's not just how to do yoga, but how to live yoga. Because yoga is not just a thing you do with the poses, with the balancing poses and the breathing exercises and everything. It's a whole mindset. It's a whole world of view. So, is there a tarot deck of cards in the kitchen? Yes, there is. It's right here. Why do you ask? I did tarot carding. I did a tarot card read earlier. At the beginning of my stream. Are you wanting a tarot reading? I want to understand myself more. So you are. Okay, tarot card reading. Yes. Tarot card reading. Don't mind if I do. Where should I put it? Should I put it on the cooktop? No. Okay, where can I do it that's clean? Nowhere. Okay, you know what? I'll just hold it up. Okay, so you're just gonna have to trust me that I'm choosing the right. Shuffle the deck multiple times. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna do that right now over here. On the one clean space in the entire kitchen. So I'm shuffling it right now. Shuffle. Oops. Okay. I shuffled it. Okay, take the one on the top. It's the one from earlier. Isn't that crazy? This is the one from earlier. Did I just not shuffle it well enough? Probably. Oh. Let me shuffle it again. This time I'm making sure that it's going in. Okay, I cut the deck, look. I'm cutting the deck so that it goes underneath. Because I did definitely take the one and I didn't shuffle it well enough. Okay. Now we're gonna shuffle it over here. Yeah. Okay. So the one from the top. Ah, okay. Confidence of Earth. That's the one that I got. Do you want just one or do you want 3? Typically, a tarot reading, you do 3 cards, but if you're okay with just 1. So Confidence of Earth, put it on top. So why not? Let me refer to my book. I should start charging for this, shouldn't I? Just kidding. I am nowhere near qualified to be doing this. Okay. Confidence of Earth means out on a limb, delicate yet resilient. Out on a limb, delicate yet resilient. Okay. So you're out on a limb here. And you're resilient. Okay. Next one on the bottom, and the last one on the top again. Okay. So the next one's on the bottom. Ooh, this one's pretty. Trust of Air. Trust of Air. Okay, and then the one on the top, Struggle of Fire. Wow, quite the nice selection. So we have going out on a limb and being delicate, and then we have, what's next? Trust of Air. Sunlight above the storm is forgotten without hope. Okay, so we have hope in order to find the sunlight above the storm. And then we have Struggle of Fire. Struggle of Fire is engulfed in flames, the totality of energy. Ah, okay. So you must be delicate, have hope, and then you will discover the totality of energy. The cards are related to cooking in the kitchen. They could be related. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess. It's really up to you how you want to interpret them, honestly. I want to know, tarot reading is one of those things where I look at it and I'm like, are you just bullshitting? Like, are you just making shit up? Because that's what I do. I make shit up. You know, so it makes me kind of like wonder why people charge for it, because you're just making it up. But I like doing it because it's randomness. You know, there's random things and you're like, oh, what does this mean? And that you think about it introspectively. Okay, these are starting to get a little bit melty. They're warm. You think about things introspectively and how it all connects together and how it all makes sense. It's a way to put order to the chaos. Before it was called tarot reading, it was actually just called making shit up. Correct. No, I probably insulted a bunch of people. I don't know. What I'm saying is I'm an amateur tarot card reader, so at this point I am just making shit up for people's entertainment. Sometimes that's what you want, though, I guess. When I was thinking about like going to a palm reader to tell me what career I wanted, I literally was like, tell me anything. Like, I don't care. I just need something outside of myself to tell me what to do. So some people, that's what they want, is they want just a random, you know, something outside of them to give some information. K-pop culture, what do you think? I want to understand myself more, so you're trying to cramp yourself into a drawer cabinet. Prejudices. What? Pop culture, I need to know. What do you mean? That's what I'll ask. What do you mean by that? Before it was called... Oh, you already said that. Okay, let's read the Yoga Sutra, finally. So we can change the subject. Okay. So, I'm not going to read the explanations. I'm just going to read the sutras themselves. And if you want to find it, you can just actually look on Google Books and it'll be right there. So, easy to find. If you're like, what translation are you using? Look on Google Books. That's where it is. I always find the easiest source of information to use possible. Okay. So, you think I would love the game Dixit? Okay, thanks for the recommendation. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through all of them, or one at a time, I guess. There's different books. So the first book is Concentration, which is the ultimate goal, and it's also known sometimes as enlightenment. Here, let me... Sorry, I just had to cough. So passages 1 through 4, I'm reading the summaries of them, so we don't have to go like in the meat of it. Like, okay. Yoga is the concentration which restricts the fluctuations. Freed from them, the self attains to self-expression. Yoga is the translation of yoga comes from the word yoke. You know, yoke, like yoking an animal. So kind of restraining. It's not really even in the point of like restraining your natural urges and tendencies. It's not meant in that harsh of an instance. It's really meant in a kind of guiding your thoughts and guiding your... it's a way to tether your thoughts, kind of like a yoke does for an animal. But it's nothing about this Nietzsche like surpassing the animal self or anything. It doesn't have to do with that. Now the exposition of yoga is to be made. Yoga is the restriction of the fluctuations of mind stuff. Then the seer, that is the self, abides in himself. At other times, the self takes the same form as the fluctuations. I love this. Finally, some good soup. Finally, some good soup. Something I actually understand. Yeah. So it's saying yoga is a way to not control, but like restrain, because you know your mind fluctuates all the time. You're always thinking about what you're gonna do tomorrow, what you're gonna do right now, what the drama that's going on with your sister or your brother or your family or your friend, or like what to make for dinner, what to do this, when what's your opinion on this, what's your opinion on that. All these you know, fluctuations of what's happening in the mind. It's all this noise, right? And so when you allow that to control you, then you kind of just become something that's just like constantly at the whim of whatever your brain tells you to do, which isn't always helpful. If you're always anxious, if you're always distracted by like what you need to be doing and what your opinion is and what your this is. I'm trying to refrain from using the word ego because I use that word all the time. Then you just become that. But if you want to achieve your true nature, which is what this is trying to get at, incredible, Refly. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. It's best not to reveal Onion Bro's true power level. Okay, I'm just going to check on this and make sure that it's... Okay, it's boiling. Good. You want to leave the lid on as it's boiling so it cooks. So I'm just going to leave the lid on here. So it talks about the seer, so the self. What it means by that, with what I'm understanding... You're finished. What, are you gonna beat Stream Elements up? What I'm understanding is that the self, according to this, is kind of like it's the potential. It's the algorithm. I don't love the word algorithm because that makes you seem like an AI, which I don't like that. but it is kind of like that. You are the like all your brain connections and your ability to perceive your environment and touch things and taste things and interface. It's all one. You can think of it in terms of an algorithm by how you work. It's the potential. I prefer the word potential. Your potential to interface with your environment. That's what they consider the self. The self is not your thoughts and your perceptions and your emotions. That's not the self. That comes from outside of yourself. That comes from what they consider, so it's called Brahman, which is the one fundamental reality, or God or the universe or whatever. That's where that comes from. But the self is your ability to filter through those, to filter through your thoughts and choose. It's almost like the chooser. Like, when a thought bubbles up in your mind, where does it come from? You don't know. You don't know where it comes from, right? But you can choose, like you can choose, like, I'm gonna entertain this thought a little bit more, or nah, I want to ignore this thought. And then you filter through it and you choose what you want and what you don't want. I'm curious to know your thoughts of whether you agree or not. But that is 100% that's why I'm like, damn, this is good soup. Because this makes fucking sense. All the other stuff, it feels like it's like, man is something that's greater than nature, and we're different, and we're special, and we're God, and God created us. I'm not bashing that. I'm not saying that's incorrect. But it doesn't serve, that kind of perspective doesn't serve me. This kind of perspective makes sense in my mind. So that's why I like it. Okay. So then it goes on, forms of the mind stuff. The fluctuations are all exposed to attack from the hindrances and are 5 in number. Number 1, the sources of valid ideas. Number 2, misconceptions. Number 3, predicate relations. Number 4, sleep. And number 5, memory. So these are all the hindrances, the things that hinder your, the fluctuations of your mind. Because when you go to sleep, your mind isn't racing all the time. There's no, especially in deep sleep. In deep sleep, you're not having these fluctuations. There's nothing to be perceived. There's nothing to be sensed. It's just nothing. It's almost like death, which I like. Misconceptions too hinders it, and I'm going to think about it in terms of my perspective. When you have a misconception about something, it's like it's honing in everything to be incorrect. I'm not sure about predicate relations. I guess here I'll read it. Maybe it's got an explanation. The fluctuations are 5 kinds and are hindered or unhindered. Sources of valid ideas and misconceptions and predicate relations and sleep and memory. The sources of valid ideas are perception and interference and so here it goes into, so the sources of valid ideas, they are perception, interference, and verbal communication. And then misconception is an erroneous idea not based on that form, in respect of which the misconception is entertained. And then the predicate relation is without any corresponding perceptible object and follows as a result of perception or of words. I'm not sure if I understand that one. And then sleep is a fluctuation of mind stuff supported by the cause of the transient negation, the waking and dreaming fluctuation. So like I was saying earlier, like during sleep, you're not having any mind fluctuations in deep sleep. And then memory is not adding surreptitiously to a once experience object. Almost like death, which I like. Yes, you did hear that correctly. I like it. I like that sleep is like death. because it gives you a taste. It gives you a taste. It shows you, hey, death isn't that bad. You don't need to fear death. You really don't. You really don't have to fear death. I know that like the permanence of it is something to be feared, I guess. But when you think about it, right, when you're going to sleep at night and you're giving way to this like blackout, you don't know how long it's going to last. You don't like you yourself, you don't really have control over how long it lasts. I mean, unless you set an alarm or whatever. But imagine when you go to sleep and you're just at the whim of your body, and whenever it chooses to wake up, you don't know how long you're going to be in that state. Or when you get anesthetic, for example, you're kind of just giving way to like, okay, take control of me. I lose control for an like a unspecified period of time. I don't know where I go. I just leave. You can think of death that same way. It's just like I mean, it's all the same, right? Time is if you're not there to experience it, then it would be the same as if you were blacked out for 1 hour or infinite time, right? So it's basically the same. Death is easily explained. It's an appetizer. Exactly. It's an appetizer. No, but I always use that framing to not fear death. It's like turning off a computer and never turning it on again. Right. And like, well, exactly, Refly. So like every day you might turn off your computer for the night. And that can be like sleep, right? You're just like, okay, I'm done using the computer for the day, so I'm going to turn it off. But then at one point, you are going to turn off the computer for the last time. That's just how it works. One point, you're going to turn off the computer for the very last time. But the computer's not going to know the difference between whether it's the last time or just another time where you're going to turn it on again. So you don't have to fear death. I thought I did fear death for the longest time, but I don't anymore. When I think about it that way, well, okay, I'm not gonna. Never mind. I'm lying a little bit. I do fear it. Like sometimes I do get those thoughts of like, oh my god, that's kind of scary. But then when I really think about it in that context, then I feel less afraid. Less afraid. Yeah, put it like that. It's not to say if I don't get confronted with a situation of like, oh my god, I'm going to die right now, I'm not going to be scared. Yeah, I'm probably going to be scared. But like day to day, like you don't need to fear death day to day. Be like, oh my god, one of these days I'm going to pass it. Like you don't have to. You know. So. Okay, so I'm cooking the rice and I'm going to leave this for, I want to say like 30 or 40 minutes. Not sponsored by my lime drink, by the way. Yeah. I drink that like every day. I need to. I'll drink everything except water. Yo, water is so boring these days. You guys, I don't want to drink it anymore. I'm tired. I'm tired of just drinking water. Okay, so shall we cook the chicken? I think we shall. And then by the time we're done cooking the chicken, then the rice will be done. And then all will be well. Okay. Move this away. I gotta put the lid on my brown sugar, otherwise it's gonna dry out. Dude, don't you guys fucking hate how brown sugar, you leave it out for 1 second and it's like dried. Instantly dried. Where's my... So I'm gonna cook the chicken in this pan right here. Turn the... I wonder if I should switch. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna switch my camera. Yeah, this is what's happening. Official streaming techniques. We're professionals right here. There. 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 Okay. I'm going to pee really quick, so give me a second. I'll be right back. Feel free to order something from the cafe. And then, yeah. Give me one second. Okay. Oh, let me put my microphone back on. There we go. Let me put my little microphone. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed their. Ooh, I hope you enjoy your hibiscus iced tea refly. Okay, so we got our pan. We got our. Here's our chicken. Yeah. All marinated. So turn the heat on, and usually what I do is I just get a fork and you guys, I'm so paranoid about chicken. It's so disgusting. So what I do is I get a fork, and only the fork handles the raw meat, and then later this will handle when it's like mostly cooked. So I'm gonna fork some of these on the pan. Oops. This is how I cook most chicken, is with a lot of liquid, because I like kind of boiling it in a way, which maybe that offends some of you, and that's okay, because the way you cook might be different than my way. I know it's important not to overcrowd the pan. So, yep, I think that's how much I'm doing. I'm gonna add some of this cilantro though. Make sure it all gets in, and then we're gonna read some more of the yoga. I think with philosophy, like, you just have to find what works for you. You can read other sources. So I'm going to be reading more Western philosophers because I am interested in what they have to say. Like, I might read some Plato, I might read some Aristotle. I keep wanting to say Aristotle, but that's the streamer, that's not the but it doesn't mean I'm going to adopt it as a worldview. Just that's the one that I like is gonna. It's like religion, basically. You don't have the gene in your DNA that makes cilantro taste like some. Refly, do you have that gene? Because that would be. Oh, I would hate to have that because I love cilantro. Yeah, I love cilantro. Okay, so let's read the next one. So we've already talked about the different forms. So now we talk about the methods of restricting fluctuations. So how do we restrict the fluctuations? You do? What's that like? I'm so sorry. Dang. Well, instead of cilantro, I wonder what you could use. You just not put it in. It'll taste fine without it. Just put like the lime and the chili powder and oregano. Put extra oregano in there. So that's a shame because I love it. I'll just add soap. You'll just take a bar of soap and just grate it in. That's okay. That is crazy. I wonder how that works. That's insane. Okay. An orientation of the whole life with reference to one idea, an emotional transformation corresponding to this focused state. I think that's what it's saying is that you need to orient your whole life with reference to one idea, one focused state. The restriction of them is by means of practice and passionlessness. Practice is repeated exertion to the end that the mind stuff shall have permanence in this restricted state. But this practice becomes confirmed when it has been cultivated for a long time and uninterruptedly and with earnest attention. Passionlessness is the consciousness of being master on the part of one who has rid himself for thirst for either seen or revealed objects. This passionlessness is highest when discernment of the self results in thirstlessness for qualities and not merely for objects. So what this looks like to me is that in order to reach higher states of consciousness, and what do I mean by that when I say, because a lot of people say higher states of consciousness. Sometimes people are like, what is that even talking about? I would say just like mind states that are different from your everyday, day-to-day. So it's easy for me to describe. So, okay, here's one really easy way. Here's one really easy way to put you in a different state of consciousness, okay? Take mushrooms. I'm not saying that as an encouragement. Please don't take that as an encouragement. But if you do take psychedelics, that will put you in a different state of consciousness like that. Like instantly. Do I think that everybody should take them? No, absolutely not. But from my experiences with that, what it does is it puts your executive functioning, it takes your executive functioning and it puts it in the back seat. And it's like, okay, you know what? You've had your fun. You're going to take a back seat and we're going to fuck this shit up. We're going to have a time. What I'm referring to is, I guess, just everything else besides executive functioning. I don't know what a name for that would be, but you can think of it in terms of like your ability to remember dates and times and your personality and things you're supposed to do and your friends and your family and your this and this and this. That all, goodbye for a second. There's an even easier way. Okay. I'm in a different state of consciousness when the chili of motherfucker be eating hit the wall. I mean, okay, you're right. Like, I know that was a joke, but also, I'm thinking of the easiest answer to visualize at the moment. You can think of it in terms of like, oh, a near-death experience. That puts you in a different state of consciousness. If you have a near-death experience, if your life is flashing before your eyes and suddenly everything becomes like there's all this clarity and like, whoa, you know, I've never had one before, but you can think of it in terms of that too. It's basically just a fluctuation from your day-to-day, like self and the way you think about things. That's how you can think about it. That looks edible, very much so. Oh, good. I'm glad it looks edible. I know the lighting is not the best. And so it's cooking in the liquid right now. Later we're going to remove the lid so the liquid could cook off. For now, I like absolutely blasting it. Chicken, I want to make sure it's just blasted. Because I'm so afraid of salmonella. Okay. Tanner, hi. We're talking about altered states of consciousness. We're talking about the Yoga Sutras, which is philosophy that I enjoy. It's my favorite type of philosophy. So we're talking about how to get on the path to higher states of consciousness. Refly. If this was the 80s, I'm sure Marissa would have a cooking show with some philosophy in between dishes. Yeah, right. But yeah, so, okay. Psychedelic experience, near-death experience. Alcohol is not. All alcohol does, like different substances, what alcohol does to you basically is just like numbs everything. It just turns everything down a notch. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I'm trying to drink less these days. Yeah. This weekend, you guys, I'm proud of myself. This weekend, I didn't drink anything. And you're probably like, what? What do you mean? Like, did you have a problem? And it's like, no, I didn't have a problem, but I was drinking every single weekend. Which a lot of people do, by the way. A lot of people do that. But I just decided for me, I'm gonna cut back a little bit. So we're shifting from every single weekend to like every other weekend. And then maybe from there, like just on occasion. That's what I'm hoping. That's my goal. Are you actually bullshitting us with all the philosophy while just caring about the delicious chicken? Well, some of it's bullshit. The tarot cards, sometimes I bullshit those, not gonna lie. Sometimes you just need some bullshit. Like, bullshitting is just like, because like I was saying before about wanting to go see the palm reader, I just wanted her to say something. I would have taken anything she said and been like, yeah, I think you're right. It's just a source of randomness. It's a source of like something other than me saying what to do all the time. Like I said, I really enjoy not being in control sometimes. I enjoy letting my ego take a back seat. I like being at the whim. I like letting the universe breathe through me. That's what I was mentioning in that example of when I was having that experience meditating and laying down on the floor. And I felt this force. It wasn't me breathing, it was something else causing me to breathe, and I realized that I was being breathed. That chicken, you cook it different, you steam it? Listen, we're not. No backseat cooking. No backseat cooking in this. I'm doing what I'm doing. This is what I do. Yes, I guess I steam it, sure. I steam it, and then I cook the liquid off, and then it's done. And guess what? It turns out perfect every time, in my opinion. It turns out perfect every time. So now the liquid's cooking off, so it's gonna, I mean, I still want a little bit of it, like a sauce in a way. Okay. Just a question. Okay. Anyways, shall we continue? Listen to her. I reduced my backs. Oh, yes. Pop culture, I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. Pop culture has learned how to deal with me. I had a moment where I was like, I'm putting my foot down. I might have been a little bit too blunt, but that's just how it is. Sometimes I need to be blunt. Okay. So let's keep going. With what I was going to say. Oh yes, so restricting these fluctuations, it happens with like constant practice. So when people say they've reached enlightenment or whatever, or actually in this case it's concentration, samadhi, which is similar to enlightenment. You reach that multiple times throughout your life. You can. So the guru I listen to, he says like a lot of times when he meditates, he's able to achieve that state of it's like a flow state, if you will, letting things flow through you. And actually, I think I've achieved that before, so maybe I have achieved some. I don't know. But it's something to keep aspiring to and to keep working at. And the more you work at it, the more often you're able to achieve it in your meditation practice. Multiple enlightenments. Pop culture, you're going to bite your tongue. You're going to bite your tongue because yep. I don't mean enlightenment. I really don't. Enlightenment is an overused term and I don't like it actually because it condenses something into one idea. I don't think there's any one idea that people can achieve. It's just it's a flow state. We're achieving a flow state multiple times of where external forces control you instead of your ego controlling you. And to me that feels quite nice. When I felt what I thought was the universe breathing through me, it doesn't matter what actually happened. Oh, hi. The ass hair anarchist? What? I love your name. That's funny. We're talking about the Yoga Sutras. We're talking about, but hey, if you came here for the philosophy tag, and if you are interested in Western philosophy, don't worry, you're among good company. I'm just having my fun for today. Everybody made me read Nietzsche and Wittgenstein and all these Western philosophers, and so now I'm just having a bit of fun, being like, this is my day. I get to talk about what I want. Looks good. Oh, thank you, Beef. Hi, welcome. Thank you. Yes, this is cilantro lime chicken. Yep. Better to be delighted than enlightened. The way you talk about it sounds very spiritual. Yes, I guess it is very spiritual. You know, I never knew. How do you guys define spirituality? What do you guys I really want to know. I'm curious. Because I never knew what that meant. Like, what does it mean to have a spiritual experience? Because, like, when I grew up LDS, like Mormon, a spiritual experience was like, oh, the Holy Ghost came to me and talked to me. And I never had that happen, so I was like, what? You're telling me that you're being visited by the Holy Ghost? Yeah, because I was like, I've never... I'm not saying that's never happened to anybody. Maybe it has happened to you, and that's great. But I just had a hard time understanding what it meant. Okay. So we cut open the thickest piece, and it looks like it's not pink in the center. So we're going to now cut the chicken. And I like cutting it into strips like this. And then what I do is I put it in a separate bowl, and I pour this like juice over it. I hate it when the Holy Ghost visits uninvited. I want to talk about it in a respectful way, but also a playful way, because I do acknowledge that it is it that if that's what you believe, then that's what you believe, and I'm happy for you. If you've been visited by the Holy Ghost, I'm happy for you. I just never knew what it meant because I never experienced it. Okay, we're taking this off the heat because I don't want it to burn. A spiritual experience is something that amazes me, which is outside of my understanding of the actual moment. Ah, transcendent. Okay, transcendent. Okay. Sorry, that was loud. Have I had a transcendent experience? I guess that experience I shared with the universe breathing through me. I guess that was a transcendent experience. I want to have one sober though, because I was under the influence of psychedelics. So I want to have one completely sober. Because otherwise, all I'm going to chalk it up to is being like, well, I was just having a psychedelic experience, which is fine. Like I said, I go to that church where that's their whole thing is like psilocybin, and that's the church having spiritual experiences through psilocybin. I mean, does it matter how you get there? It looks good? Thank you. Here, look. So this is what the strips look like. I'm gonna put them in a bowl. Okay, do I have any bowls left? Jesus. I'm using all the bowls in the house. Ah, okay, I've got one bowl left. Okay. So we're putting it in the bowl. I'll read all your oh shit. Well, I guess I'll eat it. Mmm. It's good. It's like lime. It's limey. It tastes limey. Thank you for following Ass Hair Anarchist. Oh my god, I coughed. I'm sorry. That was loud. Okay, let me read what everybody said. I guess spirituality doesn't really exist for me. It's more about consciousness, rationality, emotional response, all condensed into a single realization. Ah, okay. Yeah, oh, the emotional. Yes, the emotional aspect. The meaning. You're attaching meaning to something that happened to you. It's very emotional. I agree, Trix. That seems like a very clear explanation that makes sense to rational people. Like, no, not rational. I'm not meaning that. What I mean is like people who only think rationally, like me. Analytically. Not rationally. Analytically. That's what I meant. Replace a complex word with an even more complex word. I did acid once. You did beef? Whoa. You want to tell us about your experience? That could have been cool. I'm running. Popman, please send me some more bowls. I need the bowl. I need the troops. Gather the troops. Pop culture. I had an out-of-body experience once in a while. The sober ones were too scary, though. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, pop culture. I've never had a sober out-of-body experience. I've only had a not sober out-of-body experience. To be fair, I will give myself some credit. When I do my microdosing ritual, what I do is I'll just be honest with you guys. I take 0.5 grams of psilocybin mushrooms, which is not a lot, and that's how I get to where I need to be, the state of consciousness I desire. So it's not really that much. Some people are like, I took 6 grams, and we're not comparing. Well, we are comparing. We're not judging. If that's what you need, that's what you need. I just need my 0.5 grams, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is what I need. You know how some people are potheads? I'm a shroom head. I'm a shroom head for real. I should not be talking about this so openly. That's a huge mistake, but whatever. Okay, so look. So this is what it looks like with all the sauce and everything. See? It's not just oil. It's lime juice. So it's very limey. It looks pretty good, right? Okay, now we're gonna cook the rest of it. I do not have infinite bowls. Okay, let me scroll down. Trix said, what about the tasty sauces in the pan? Yes, I did use it. That's what I did. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Don't worry, Trix. I know. Where's my fork? Where's my? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna turn the heat back on. Grams. I'm surprised the Americans do not use micro cups. Oh yeah, the imperial system. No, I do have a gram scale. I got it from sports store. It's actually supposed to be used for gunpowder. You know what really concerns me is when people are like, oh yeah, I just took a couple, and then they just like measure it in terms of how many mushrooms they take, and it's like, you're not measuring how much you're taking. What, are you crazy? Just like, yeah, I took a couple caps. You don't understand. They don't all weigh the same, dude. You're crazy. Because they don't all weigh the same. You gotta do it by weight. Safe practices, dude. Safe practices. Harm reduction. That's what it is. Harm reduction. Some people are absolutely insane. I've got a couple friends like that actually who do that, and it just makes me so fucking nervous. Okay. These edibles ain't shit before being launched into the fucking atmosphere. Dude, yeah, that's why I don't take edibles. That's why I don't do edibles, because you have no idea what you're in for most times. So what's your favorite kind of movie? Romantic comedy? Pop culture, I was telling you about the really good movie I watched the other day, but you hate it. So, yeah, I really enjoyed Silver Linings Playbook. I love that movie. Favorite movie of all time, though, would have to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's my favorite movie. I do love the trippy movies, so... Yep, the trippy movies, that's where it's at. Where it's just a little bit strange. And it's existential, it's artistic, it's action-y, it's got some romance, it's got some culture in there. It's everything. It's actually supposed to be used for gunpowder. It's pretty American, yeah, I know. That is pretty American, isn't it? Aster Anarchist said, oh, never tried drugs in my life, but I have a strong interest in ayahuasca. If only I knew a safe method of procurement. Oh, yes. Yes, you want to make sure you're safe about it. Yeah. What? I'm not going to tell anybody how to procure things, because that's probably frowned upon on Twitch. But that is a very important point. You want to make sure you're getting it from, and safe practices, right? If you're using any sort of substance, especially if it's in pill form, please get it tested. Like, please, please, please get it tested. Holy shit, get it tested. Like, they won't shame you or anything. They won't, like, they just want you to be safe. Like, if you don't know what's in there, like, it could be anything. Yeah, anything, everything has fentanyl in it. I know, it's so scary. So, yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Like, I know that a lot of new age stores, if you go into like a crystal shop, again, this is not advice, okay? But if you go into a crystal shop, they're selling spiritual goods. If you go up to them and I start asking people about their ayahuasca journey and like, where can I take one of those? They'll probably know. They'll probably know where to go. Yep, that's all I'll say about that. Can't do that anymore. Nope. Yeah, just being safe about it. And also, like, respecting it. Respect the medicine. Tanner, you're still trying to figure out what you're talking about. Substances. So, psychedelics, Tanner. Psychedelics, which in some areas are legal, in some areas they are not. So it's very important to be careful about how you navigate that space. Yep, always very careful. Okay, so shall we read the next yoga sutra? Because so we can change the subject away from people. Oh, you mean chicken? Tanner, you're so confusing. Wait, what? Oh, Trix. Trix got a lavender lemonade. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's get back on track to what we're actually talking about. Okay, so there's different kinds of concepts. Oh, this is what you guys were asking about. So, I know, you're right. I'm sorry. Oh, you don't have to apologize. Sorry, I didn't. Sometimes I say things bluntly and I don't mean them. You guys were like, oh, what is this? Enlightenment? What does this mean? I have it right here. The kinds of concentration. Okay? So listen up. There's 4 kinds of conscious concentration, and the concentration of subliminal impressions alone. Okay? Concentration becomes conscious of its object by assuming forms either of deliberation upon coarse objects, or by reflection upon subtle objects, or of joy, or of the feeling of personality. So I think that's what's saying the different types. Oh, assume the form of an object. Oh, I see. Okay. So you can achieve concentration by, like, you know, when people meditate, like, oh, if I were to take this delicious lime beverage and look at it and gaze at it and meditate upon it, and I am this bottle, I am this bottle, I am this bottle. People do that actually with their meditation. That's one form of meditation. You do that so much to the point that you actually become it. You feel what it's like to be this. That's one form of concentration, where you become something else. Basically, all of these are ways to understand again, not sponsored. Right, Refly? I should preface that. All these are ways to realize the fundamental reality, which is Brahman, which is everything is one. Okay? That's what they mean by consciousness. Okay, so one way is to look at something and ponder it and become it. Because by becoming this lime drink, then I realize, oh my God, me and this lime drink, we're not actually that different. We're just like different compilations of stuff. And you called me confusing. Okay, let me go to the clay pot example. Let me go to the clay pot example, okay? So, Tanner, think of a clay pot, okay? A pot man, you'll get this one. A pot that's made out of clay, that's the material it's made out of, okay? What's the underlying material that the pot is made out of? It's not made out of pot. It's made out of clay. So, where was I going with this? So the underlying reality, Brahman, is like clay. We, like all the different forms, so like a bottle, chicken, a pot, like a pan like this, the juice, all of it is like the pot. It's the form that the clay takes. You get what I'm saying? Everything's just a form. The form of one fundamental, like God or the universe or whatever you want to call it. It's just like displaying itself in this way. You think about, like, in the example, it talks about, like, can you break down clay into other fundamental parts? They're ignoring, like, the atoms and the whatever. You, like, just ignore that, okay? Think about it in terms of, like, yes, the pot, you can break it down into clay. You can crush it and break it down into clay. So like everything that you see here, you can break it down into one fundamental reality. Because like, you know, they discover things like atoms, right? So they've discovered atoms. Atoms are made out of protons, neutrons, and electrons. And then we discovered that in the end it's all matter. Well, yeah, so here's where I'm going with this, Trix. Then they discovered that it's made out of quarks, right? And then eventually scientists are going to discover that quarks are made out of smaller pieces. And you just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until you realize that everything's made out of the same building block. That's what it means. And if you're thinking like, well, what's the use in thinking that way? I mean, it's a helpful way of like, I guess, framing your perspective and like trying to feel more connected to everything around you. Trying to have more respect for the people around you, for the objects around you, you know, same building block. Not sponsored by Lego. Thank you, Refly, for constantly reminding me how I'm not sponsored by anyone. Woohoo. So, anyways, okay, we're almost done. Don't worry. Let me check on the rice, actually. Oh, that's actually almost done, dude. Okay. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait a little bit longer on the chicken. It's almost done. Okay, next one. So we already talked about one. Now we talk about number 2. Number 2 is reflection upon subtle objects. Reflection upon subtle objects. What does he mean by subtle objects? Let me look this up. I think it might be ideas. An intangible concept. Oh yeah, so like meditating on one concept. You can do that too until you basically become that concept. So some people like to have mantras, you know, chanting the same thing over and over until they basically become that idea. Like your brain basically becomes that idea. You can do that. Or you can meditate on a feeling, like an emotion, like joy. Or you can meditate on the feeling of personality. That one's elusive to me, I'm not sure. And then it goes on to say, the other concentration, which is not conscious of objects, consists of subliminal impressions only, after objects have merged, and follows upon that practice which affects the cessation of fluctuations. So the goal is the cessation of fluctuations. So like your mind just like going everywhere, like, oh my God, what do I gotta do tomorrow? Like, and oh, I gotta see that movie, and like, what did this politician say, and what did this, you know, how your brain just like constantly goes off the rails. The goal is to not have that happen, to just become, to just be. Have any of you ever achieved that state of just being, where you're not thinking about anything, you're just doing? No wrong answers. There's no wrong answers. Like I said, I see it as a state of flowing. But you can have that when you like have a hobby, for example. Like if you're doing a hobby that you really love, and you lose yourself in the hobby, in what you're doing. You lose your sense of time. You kind of forget about everything that you normally think about, like your personality, your family, or whatever. I mean, if people have ever had to like interrupt you and be like, hey, pay attention, you know, because you're so engrossed in what you're doing. That is basically the same thing. So have you guys ever had that happen to you? I certainly have. When you're just so engrossed in a task that you're doing that you lose kind of your sense of self. That's what happens. You're losing your sense of self for a minute, briefly. Um, it's a flow state. I think it's a good thing to achieve that state, in my opinion, because it helps you change your perspective. It helps you realize what's actually important. Like when you've got a hobby that's so important that you lose yourself in it, sometimes you are able to look back and think like, oh, actually, all these things I worry about, they're not even that important. You know, they're not really even that important. So that's like the goal. That's the goal, is like to say, is a change of perspective, to think about what's actually important or not important. Or you really become yourself, not lose yourself. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good reframing. I think Tanner, I think your way of describing it is good. It's better than my way. Yeah, you become your real self. I like that idea. You do become your real self. I think what I meant by lose yourself is you lose your like your day to day, like how you act day to day, which is not always your real self, or like how you, yeah, it's perspective probably. You lose your doubts about yourself. Yeah, you lose your doubts about yourself. You lose your problems that you're always worried about, you know, that aren't even that important. You realize that they're not that important. Like maybe you've got a big meeting coming up, or you're really worried about what you said to somebody, or like, I don't know, just the things we worry about every day. The things that we worry about every day, you realize maybe that's not that important. Okay, so this is the last of the chicken. Finally, we got the last of the chicken. We're almost done with the rice. Is Onion Bro quoting Eminem? Good one. Okay. Lid on that. There we go. Spaghetti, it's ready. Basically. Sure, we'll say that. Okay, moving on then. We're almost done. Okay, so now we do the degrees of approach to concentration. Okay, so we have the worldly approach, the spiritual approach, the combination of methods and intensities, and the devotion to the highest self. So these are different ways to achieve this state of consciousness that we're trying to achieve. So first, the concentration not conscious of objects caused by worldly means is the one to which the discarnate attain, and to which those whose bodies are resolved into primary matter attain. Oh, okay. Wow. I think I would need to look at another explanation of that one, because I'm not sure if I understand what they mean by worldly means. There's a more in-depth, so I'm just reading the summary, right? So there's a more in-depth, if you actually look up Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, you can find the more in-depth explanations. Or if you look it up, like, I'm sure they've got very clear explanation. I'm just going through it as a kind of an overview. And then there's concentration not conscious of objects, which follows upon belief and energy and mindfulness and concentration and insight, is that to which the others attain. So there's the way that worldly people can attain it, and there's the way the yogis attain it, apparently. For the keenly intense, concentration is near. Because this keenness is gentle or moderate or keen, there is a concentration superior even to this near kind. Or, concentration is attained by devotion. I think what it means by that is just there's different ways to get to that state that you're looking for. I think that you just have to do it in whatever way works for you. I mean, obviously I'm what's the opposite of preaching to the choir? What's that? I'm spewing things at people that don't even care what I'm talking about. Um, or like not that, but like I'm sure you guys are not seeking this type of mind state, right? So it might not matter to you, but if you do want to achieve it, then I don't think it matters as much about what method you use. So I was talking with somebody yesterday about how with meditation, I think it was Dharma Dom that I was talking with. Meditation, people often think, oh, I gotta do yoga, lotus pose, and I gotta do Om, and I just gotta sit there for hours and whatever. You don't have to do that. Like, if you want to meditate, like just anywhere, you can meditate anywhere. You can do it at any time, anywhere. And actually, like that might even show that you're a little bit, well, like for example, I gave the example of how I like to meditate in the bath, right? Or I like to meditate lying down. Those are my preferred methods of meditation. So I almost never do the lotus pose, the full. It doesn't have to be as rigid as you think it does. Really, it's just about like, and like you can achieve different things with it too. Like either you can empty your mind, or you can achieve a flow state, or you can ponder the answer to one of your questions, and if you meditate, maybe the answer will come to you, something like that. Really, like it's just whatever you want to do. Like you can, I think there are certainly easier ways, simpler ways, but the way I like to approach life is sometimes I just brute force things. I just do it. And sometimes it's the hard way. And, sometimes it's not the way other people would do it, but that's the way I do it. So, you just have to do what works the best for you. So, anyway, we'll continue. Okay. Analysis of the highest self, my bad. The unique quality of the highest self, proof of his existence, his temporal priority, his symbolic realization. Untouched by hindrances or karmas or fruition, or by latent deposits, the Ikvara is a special kind of self. In this Ikvara, the germ of the omniscient is at its utmost excellence. Teacher of the primal sages also, forasmuch as with him there's no limitation by time. The word expressing him is the mystic syllable. Repetition of it and reflection upon its meaning should be made. Ishvara, by my bad. I think it's Ishvara, not Ikvara, my bad. I pronounced it wrong. Okay, so there's obstacles to the calming of the mind stuff. So here's some obstacles that you might encounter. The inner sense is exposed to distractions which may be overcome by focusing the mind. By the cultivation of sentiments, one may also practice breathings. Thereafter comes the right knowledge of him who thinks in an inverse way and the removal of obstacles. Sickness and languor and doubt and heedlessness and worldliness, an erroneous perception and failure to attain any stage of concentration, and instability in the state when attained. These distractions of the mind stuff are the obstacles. So you could be hindered by being sick, by doubting, by like if you go into meditation being like, nothing's gonna happen. Then nothing's gonna happen. You can't go into it being like, yeah, nothing's gonna happen. Obviously, nothing's gonna happen if you go into it like that. You have to go into it with the right mindset. But the magic part of it is you can go into it. Let's see. Oh, actually, that's about done. Dang. My rice is done, you guys. Okay, look at my rice. Look at my rice. Amazing. I finished. No, that looks very good actually. So yes, it is a little bit wet, and it's wet because that's just the way that it is. This recipe always turns out this way. But I actually like the texture. I think it's good. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the heat off for that one. Yeah, I did it. Okay, I'm gonna taste some of it. Mmm. Mmm. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. It's like a little bit salty. It's got the flavor of the carrot, which makes it nice and fresh. It's got, oh, actually, this is done too. The chicken is done. The rice is done. Everything's done. Put all this in there. We do not want to lose any of the sauce. The sauce is very important. Okay. I'm gonna cut the chicken. Oops. Yeah, personally, I like approaching philosophy, and people might not. That looks good. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad it looks good. Yeah, that's because it is good. It is good. Oops. And what I'm gonna serve it with is usually how I serve it is with refried beans and the chicken. And you can also serve it with avocado, but again, I've already eaten, so yeah, it's carrots. It's carrots, it's a lot of carrots, and it's serrano peppers. So carrots, peppers, and onions. It's got a whole onion. It's got like 3 serrano peppers. Okay. So here's the chicken. I'm actually gonna, there. Maybe you can see it more up close. Oops, 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 oops. Oops, okay. There. Okay, I'm just gonna heat up some of the 10 out of 10 would eat. Yay! I'm glad. I'm gonna heat up some refried beans and then we'll plate it up and then we'll try it out. So give me just a second. I'm gonna open up my refried beans. Yes, I do eat it out of a can because, dude, I tried making refried beans one time. It literally took forever. It took, because I tried I soaked the beans, cook them. It tasted really bad and it took like 5 hours. So we doing it out of the can. It's just the organic refried beans. Organic, because we're healthy. -8 points for the soap herb. No. Ah. God dang it. Yeah, you wouldn't like it probably if it has the soap herb in it. Dang it. Shit. Sorry, I just spilled something on myself. It's fine. It's not a true cooking video if I don't spill shit on myself. Okay. So there's the refried beans. So I'm gonna put it on a little plate. And then we'll eat it. So just gonna have a little, this is my pre-workout, you know. Got a little pre-workout before my hot yoga. Some chicken and then some beans. I didn't microwave it because I'm fucking lazy. I'm lazy. There. It probably needs something green on it. It's got some green. It's got some peppers in it. Doesn't even need the beans in my opinion. Yeah, it's a preference thing. I like adding beans because it adds fiber. There's a lot of fiber in beans, so it's a joke. No ban, please. Yeah, no, don't worry, I won't ban you. Okay, so I'm gonna try the chicken. Mmm. Sometimes I just eat it with the beans too. And the chicken has a very, very lime taste. Did you know that here in America, the FDA considers beans to be a vegetable? It's a little bit of a stretch, but you know. And then I just like taking the rice with the beans. The rice is a little bit sweet because of the carrots and the tomato sauce. So it's got the onions too. You see there's some onions in there. But it's like the perfect texture. You just bite right through it. All right, everyone. He's invading Hungary. Potmen, please deploy. Protect Hungary. Shall we join? No, you're supposed to defend Hungary. Join forces. No, I'm not, I promise. Okay. Well, shall I read? I'm just gonna read a little bit more and then we'll end the stream, okay? Because you know I tend to have shorter streams on Mondays. Let me see how much more I have. Oh wow, actually a lot. Maybe I'll continue my discussion maybe tomorrow. There's a lot. Talks about like karma, pain. Oh, one of them says all is pain. There is an escape. Oh, this is fascinating. Okay, we'll continue our discussion tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Yes, I believe I will end the stream here now that this is a really good stopping point. But thanks everyone for stopping by and listening to me talk about. Oh, and by the way, there's going to be an ad in 1 minute, so we might as well end before the ad. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good day. Have a good day. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be playing Skyrim tomorrow. So, bye-bye. Good night. Good night, Refly. Bye, Onion Bro. Bye, Tanner. Bye-bye. Stop streaming.